Cannon.
I'm about to go see freaking No Way Home, bro. Let's freaking. Oh my god. Ah, it felt right on my foot too. But we about to go see No Way Home. Who cares, bro? Let's freaking get it. All the leaks, all the conspiracy theories, all of that is finally here, dude. Take this freaking mask off, bro. All the leaks, all the conspiracy theories, everything is here. All the avoiding spoilers, bruh. I kept going to my recommendation to find a video to watch on YouTube, and I'll see like a No Way Home video, leaks footage, and I would just start crying. Like, it just hurts because I want to see it all for myself for the first time. But it's finally here. We about to see it. Let's freaking get it. I tell you guys, dang, we're gonna do it. Man, we're gonna do a review when we get back. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Let's get straight to it. I just got done watching No Way Home. Best superhero movie to ever exist. I don't care. It was way better than Endgame. It was better than every other movie. It was better than everything DC ever. Whatever the DC released, I don't care if DC collabs with Mortal Kombat live action. It still doesn't beat No Way Home. Let me relax before I go in circles. Alright, let's start off. The movie started off as they reveal his identity. Mysterio, let me get these slippers off. So basically, Mysterio revealed his identity. And, everybody already saw that scene. He revealed his identity. What's it called? Spider-Man, basically, everybody hated him. They was like, you're a criminal. You killed Mysterio. You killed the hero. Basically, Spider-Man was public enemy #1. Everybody hated him or whatever. So basically, I'm not trying to say basically much, but basically, like they took him. I mean, he took Zendaya, MJ. I keep saying Zendaya. He took MJ, went to the house. They were all like confused on like why would Mysterio do that. So, everybody knew who Spider-Man was. Everybody knew who Peter Parker was. So everybody was just hating on him, saying that he's a criminal who killed Mysterio. So they came and got an arrest warrant. They took him to jail. They didn't lock him up, but they confronted him. They was like talking to him like, did you kill Mysterio? They was like, no. He was like, no, the drones did it. And they was like, but it was your drones because you work with Iron Man. Basically his son. Like basically Iron Man's son. You know who Iron Man is, you work together. So you basically killed Mysterio. But he was like, no, I didn't. So they said you're gonna need a lawyer. He got a lawyer, right? They were talking in the house about getting a lawyer. So they was talking to a lawyer, and guess who it was? Everybody predicted it. It was Daredevil. He is blind. At first I didn't catch on to it. Everybody in the crowd got excited. I'm like, who is this? And then I was like, okay, he got a lawyer. And then I realized, oh snap, he's blind. That's Daredevil. It's Daredevil. He was blind. He had a little cane in his hand. So I was like, oh snap, that's Daredevil. So everybody was like saying Peter Parker is a criminal, and someone threw something through the window, and Daredevil caught it. That jump was fine. And Tom was like, I keep calling him by their real names. Spider-Man was like, what the freak? Man, you know what I mean. I'm gonna just call him by their real name, because that's who everybody refers. Nobody refers to Tom Holland Spider-Man as Peter Parker. We refer to all of them, Toby, Andrew, Peter. We all refer to them as their real name. Nobody really called them by Peter Parker. So Tom was like, what the freak? How did you do that? And then, what's it called? Tom was like, yo, we need, I'm gonna just say Peter, because it's gonna get so confusing throughout this whole thing. So Peter was like, what's it called? I know someone who's gonna reverse time, because basically they couldn't get in college. They all got kicked out of college. Cause what's it called? MJ and Ed, they all was like friends with Spider-Man. They was seen with Spider-Man all the time. They always was seen with Peter Parker. So basically, they kicked them out of college. They said you can't come to this college. It was a college they all wanted to go to. So they got kicked out of college. They couldn't go to it. And then Tom felt bad and was like, you know what? It's my fault. So I know someone who can reverse time, or basically erase everybody's mind or forget who Peter Parker is, who Spider-Man is. So basically, he went to Doctor Strange, right? And Doctor Strange was in like the little cold place, the whatever he lived at. He was there, and then Tom was like, hey, I need you to do something. And I need you to reverse time basically erase everybody's mind. And he said, I don't got the time stone, so we can erase everybody's mind though. But in order for it to work, you gotta erase everything. Not like everybody's gonna forget who Spider-Man is. Like everybody's gonna forget who Peter Parker is. Like no one's gonna know you. Like everybody who knew your mom not even gonna know you. Your Aunt May not even gonna know you. The guy down Ed and MJ, they all not gonna know you. So Tom was like, hey, at least make it work where MJ works. So as Doctor Strange was doing the thing, he kept distracting Doctor Strange saying, oh, it's MJ, my girlfriend. You can't make her forget me. So he was like, alright, that'll work. And he said, oh yeah, Ed, my best friend. Don't let him forget me. So then he was like, alright, that's the last one I'm doing. And then he was like, you know what, my Aunt May. So he messed up Doctor Strange. He kept talking while Doctor Strange was doing his spell. So Doctor Strange messed up and then brought all the villains. Like he messed up the whole multiverse. So, and then he realized, he was like, did you call the college and let them know, like, hey, I just put them in school. You could do it like a little thing, like a refund or whatever. Talk to the college and get them in. So basically, Doctor Strange was like, you didn't try that? Tom was like, no, I didn't realize I could call the college. So Tom was just so stupid the whole time. So he went to the bridge to confront the teacher that was the head of the college or whatever. So he was talking to her like, hey, put MJ and Ed in school, kick me out. You don't gotta put me in school. Just don't kick my friends out. Like it's their dreams to go to college. And then next thing you know, something happened down the bridge. And it was Doc Ock. Doc Ock came and was like, hello, Peter. So they started fighting at it. They started going at it. Man, I just don't want to, I keep going, I'm trying to go step by step. The movie was just so good. So they basically was fighting. And then Doc Ock was like, I should have killed MJ. I should have killed your girlfriend. And then Tom thought he was referring to him, but he was really talking about Toby's MJ. But then Tom took that as a threat, and they actually started going at it and fighting and stuff. And next thing you know, the nano suit, the little Doc Ock things, had caught on to Tom's Holland thing. And they basically connected to Doc Ock, and then Tom could control Doc Ock's arms. So he ended up saving everybody on the bridge. And next thing you know, the Green Goblin thing came, blew up. And then Green Goblin had dipped or whatever. He was like, hello, Peter, or whatever, and then he dipped. And Doc Ock remembered him. So basically, I keep going. I'm describing everything. Like, this video gonna be long, but I'm gonna try to skip over some good parts. But everything was just so good, I can't even skip over certain parts. The whole movie was good. So basically, Doctor Strange put him in their cage. He put Doc Ock in his cage. But as he got to the cage, the lizard, all of them was in there. He was like, I saw like some little lizard dude. So yeah, he saw like a lizard or whatever. So basically, Doctor Strange gave Tom a little suit, some little thing right here that can make the villains go to teleport them to their cage. So he said, go find the other villains before they do something. So he was looking for the villains, and next thing you know, you saw Sand come up. That was fine. He basically saw Sandman, and they was at like some little wires, and Electro had came. You know, Sandman wasn't gonna hit Peter. He wasn't gonna like hurt him, cause he's actually cool with Peter. Remember, like in the last movie, he didn't really hate Peter like that. Like he forgave him or whatever, forgive him. But basically, they fought Electro together. They basically, Sandman had helped Peter Parker defeat Electro and bring him to the cage, and then he had to bring Sandman to the cage. So basically, Green Goblin was talking to Aunt May. You know how Green Goblin is. He want to kill everybody, but he doesn't. He knows how to play smart. He acts innocent. So Aunt May was like, he doesn't want to die. Like, you don't have to make them go back to their universe. So Peter, you know, Tom being Tom, he doesn't want to hurt nobody. So he was like, hey, it has to be another way. So him and Doctor Strange started fighting. That scene was lit. He took the box. Made Doctor Strange thing. He controlled Doctor Strange thing because he took Doctor Strange's ring. Made the whole thing happen. Made Doctor Strange go in a whole nother world, in his world, and locked him in there. Who care about that part? So basically, all of that, they locked the villains up, and next thing you know, they was like, hey, it got just, he told MJ and Ed to have the box and have the ring. Do whatever, like, I'll tell you when to press it when things get out of control. So he was going out, finding other villains. And then, dang. Basically, he took all the villains and tried to make them, like, get their powers away. Or make them relive a better life or whatever. So he was trying to take all their powers and stuff. Or make them go back to the universe alive. I don't really know. That part kind of confused me. I guess he was trying to help the villains live a better life. And he told MJ, click the button if something goes wrong. If they try to kill me. So they all was doing the thing. And then he realized, you know, Green Goblin being him, he made the other villains in with him like, hey, I don't trust this kid. We don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to kill us like last time. So basically, they all started fighting or whatever. the villains turned on Tom. They didn't care about him. Tom basically was like making them refresh their memory so they wouldn't want to be a villain no more or live a better life. I don't freaking know what he was trying to do. That part kind of confusing, I'm gonna be honest. So they all started fighting or whatever, and then Aunt May died. I just skipped over like a good 20 minutes, but Aunt May died. Green Goblin basically got his little hoverboard thing and was fighting Tom and everybody. All the villains were turning on him. And next thing you know, Tom was like, hey. So basically they started fighting or whatever. Tom was like, Green Goblin was getting in Tom's head and towards the point they started fighting or whatever. And then Green Goblin hoverboard thing went through Aunt May and then she died. I don't really got much to say. Like, she died. Dang, that's messed up. She died by his Doc Ock. And then she also said, with great power comes great responsibility. Aunt May had said it. And everybody went crazy because we know that's from the OG, what's it called? That Uncle Ben said that. Uncle Ben had said that. And Aunt May said it. So everybody went crazy or whatever. So, boom, he killed him. But I'm just trying to get to the good part, man. I keep talking. The movie it started off really good, but like we don't care about that part. We try to get to the juicy part. So basically, they was like, MJ was like, I'm gonna press the button. I don't know where Tom is at. He's probably getting killed. I'm gonna press the button. So he was like, I want to make Peter back. I want Tom to come back. So he was like, bring back Spider-Man. He used a little spell. No, he was like, bring back. He was like, I wish Spider-Man can come back. But it was like the little portal opened up. He was like, what the freak? How did you do that? So he was like, I want Peter to come. Oh yeah, I meant to say, like, Ed had the little ring on. Ed had Doctor Strange ring where, like, it could do magic and all of that. So Ed had his ring on. And he basically was like, I want Peter to come back. And then, like, the portal started opening up. He didn't realize what he was doing. He just had the ring on just to have it on. But he didn't realize he could do magic with it. He repeated it. He kept moving the same hand motion. And the portal opened up. And we saw, like, a Spider-Man in the alleyway. And guess who it was? As he was walking up closer, it was Andrew, Spider-Man. He took off the mask. That joke was fun. It was like, bro, everybody in the crowd had went crazy. So they was like, who is this Spider-Man? Where is he from? And then it was like, prove that you're Spider-Man. He was hanging on a wall, crawling on a wall or whatever. It was fun. Like, they was like, yo, it's Andrew. Everybody was going crazy. And they was like, who's you? You're another Spider-Man. And it was like, is there another Spider-Man from another universe? So he did the little spell thing again, like, bring back Spider-Man. But instead of Tom, it brought back Tobey, bruh. The best thing ever. Everybody went crazy. It was freaking Tobey Maguire, bruh. It was Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. But he came back in a regular suit. Because Tobey is actually old in real life. So, like, he doesn't even look nothing like. He still looks like Tobey. But he looked like 7-year-old Spider-Man, bruh. But Tobey was freaking back. So they came back. And it was like, yo, it's 2 other Spider-Mans. So Tom was up there crying, saying that he failed Aunt May or whatever. He let Aunt May die. But then MJ came back and was like, you got 2 friends or whatever. It's 2 other people that want to see you. And next thing you know, you see both of the Spider-Mans drop down. It was so freaking fire. And then he realized they all were talking, like, saying, like, with great power. Tom was like, she told me what great power. And then Tobey said, comes great responsibility. And then Andrew was like, Uncle Ben had said that. So they all was connecting with each other, realizing, like, they were from another universe. It was so freaking fire. They realized that they were from another universe, that they all became buddy-buddy. And next thing you know, the villains had came back. They all reunited with the villains, started fighting. It was just so crazy. Like, it's so much to go over, but I can't. This video is going to be like 20 minutes long. I don't know how long this video is. So, like, all 3 of them, they basically went to, like, a little lab. This movie was legendary, bro. Like, it's like I can't even do an actual breakdown, like, go into detail and all that. I can't do all that. Like, I'm not a movie review dude. I mean, I can do a movie review, but it's just so good that I just can't, I'm not a person that can go like, oh, it was like an Easter egg in the background. I can't do that. I just want to get to the good parts. So, basically, all 3 of them were together. They were always in like the little lab or whatever, creating like little potions or whatever to make the villains lose their powers or whatever. So it was freaking cool. And then what's it called? Ed went up to like Tobey and was like, Ed, did you have a best friend? Cause all that they was like, there's another MJ, and they was like, oh snap, there's another MJ in another universe and all that stuff. And then Ed was like, did you have a best friend in your universe? And he was like, yeah, I did have a best friend. He ended up trying to kill me. And then he was like, he died trying to kill me. And then Ed was like, oh snap, like, is that gonna be me? Am I gonna try to kill Tom? Like, what the freak is gonna happen? Like, damn, I might kill my best friend. So that was kind of weird. But then Tobey had shot out the thing. It was so cool because it was so funny. Cause like they were all saying like, hey, what's it called? So Toby shot out the web thing. He shot a web thing, and they was like, yo, that just came out of you, right? They was like, bro, that just came out of you. That's weird. He was like, you guys don't got this. Cause you know Toby the best Spider-Man. But this movie confers like Tom is my favorite Spider-Man after this. But we all know Toby is like the OG. So he was like, you guys don't got this? Like, you not like me, you know what I'm saying? So they was like, oh, we got this little thing built in, like some lames. But basically, they was all at the Statue of Liberty about to fight the villains or whatever, waiting for the villains to come in. They would learn them in. And basically, Andrew was like, what's it called? I'm lame. Like, I'm lame. I don't really got like all that power. And it's funny because like we all say Andrew. I felt bad because Andrew, like you could tell they did all this on purpose because the internet. You could tell they watching the internet. Everybody saying Andrew was trash, the worst Spider-Man. So they was like in the movie they was saying like he was like, I'm the worst Spider-Man, basically garbage. And they was like, no, you're pretty good. You're good Spider-Man. Like don't beat yourself down. So basically they all was saying, they was like, okay, who we gonna do? They was like Peter, and it was like, we're all Peter. How we gonna put this? Tom was like, I'm Spider number 1. Toby Spider-Man 2, and then Andrew was like, I'm 3. Like basically they would throw him to the side because like Andrew is like one of the best Spider-Man, but the whole world says he's trash. So like basically in the movie he was like being left out and everything. It was actually funny because like we all know how the internet is, how it is in real life when everybody's saying Andrew's trash. So in the movie he basically was throwing himself away. He was like, I'm not cool like you guys. I'm Spider-Man number 3. And yeah, you guys just leaving me out. Like basically, I'm just here. Like you got someone who can shoot webs. You got someone with an Iron Man suit. And they was like, what's it called? Who was the best villains when you fought? Toby was like, I fought some dude in a black gooey. He was talking about Venom. And Tom was like, I fought some purple dude in the universe. And then Andrew was like, I fought somebody. I didn't fight nobody like as cool as you guys. I fought a rhino. Like a robot rhino. So basically he was beating himself up because he trash. Like he not trash, but he trash. So like they made him trash in the movie. It was just so many you gotta know. Like you gotta be a big Spider-Man fan to understand. You wouldn't understand the slight jokes in this movie. Like you wouldn't understand the jokes that they were saying if you haven't watched all the other Spider-Man movies. The scene from the leak, you know, the leak Andrew Garfield thing where everybody was like, oh, Andrew Garfield was gonna be in his leak scene. That scene was so nostalgic for some reason. When he was like this at the little pole at the Statue of Liberty, it was crazy because he was like, I forgot what he said. He didn't say you have web blood. He basically was like, he said you got web built into you or whatever. Like the web is built in you. That's what he said instead of you got web blood. He said the web is built into you. But when he was like talking at the crane and he put his arm up, like it was so much nostalgic that came, like so much nostalgia came flying through because like we all was like trying to figure out if that scene fake, is it Cap? But that whole part was actually really good. It was like this cool scene, this funny scene too. It was like they all was like we gotta work together, but they was like we don't know how to work together. Like Tom and Toby and Andrew, you know Spider-Man doesn't work with nobody. Tom was the only Spider-Man that works with somebody that teams up. They was like I don't know how to be a team. Tom was like trust me, I was part of the Avengers, and they was like what is that? And they was like no. Tom was like I know how to work with somebody. I used to be with a team. And they was like, okay. And he was I used to be with the Avengers. And they was like, okay, you was with a band. They was like, give it up. He was with a band. But like we all know the Avengers. Like he's with the Avengers. They was like, what is the Avengers? Is that a band? Instrument band or whatever? It was just so cool. The best superhero movie that ever exists. All the freaking Toby and Andrew came back for everybody that wanted to know. It was just crazy. They all started fighting the villains at the end. Made the villains lose their power. They made the villains lose their power so they couldn't do anything. But Doctor Strange had came back and he said, oh yeah, that scene I messed up. So basically, they were all fighting at the Statue of Liberty and MJ, she had failed. And you know who saved her? Andrew. Like Tom was about to save her, but Green Goblin thing had hit him out the way, and she was falling, and Andrew had came and saved her. That joke was fine. I knew that part was coming because I can't. Like I said, spoilers on my YouTube recommendation. It was like Andrew saves MJ, and I was like, that's Cap. But I see in the thumbnail that he actually saved MJ, so I knew that part was coming, and everybody predicted it. That's how next big superhero movie that comes out, I'm just gonna delete the internet. I'm not even gonna watch no trailer breakdown, cause some of these things we predicted, but it was still freaking good. So he saved MJ, and he started crying cause he realized he couldn't save Gwen. Everybody was clapping because of that. That part was fine. So basically, they had the thing to make all the villains lose their power and make them live a normal life. But Doctor Strange said they gotta go back to everybody gotta go back to their universe. So everybody was going back to their universe and stuff. But Tom went crazy and started beating the crap out of Green Goblin. Green Goblin was like, "What are you gonna do about it? I killed your aunt." So Tom Holland went crazy and started beating the crap out of Green Goblin. Like, knocking, he Batista bombed him. He did everything, and Green Goblin wasn't even trying to fight back. He just accepted that he was gonna die. I mean, you kill all their uncles and their aunt. What are you gonna do about it? You got all the Spider-Mans right there, but they wasn't fighting. They was like, "Hey, we're trying to save Green Goblin. Like, don't do this." So Toby came back and stopped Green Goblin from Tom from slamming Green Goblin with his little hoverboard. So Toby was blocking him and was like, "Don't do this," basically. But Green Goblin had stabbed Toby. Like, he stabbed Toby and slit his neck over. Now I'm like, he didn't do that. He didn't do it. All he did was stab him. But everybody thought he died because he was like this and then he laid down on the ground. Everybody thought Toby freaking died. But I knew he wasn't going to die. Like, that would be crazy if he did die. But basically, Green Goblin, Doctor Strange used his spell and was like, everybody's going to have to forget you. In order for the villains to go back, we're going to have to erase you for good. Like, nobody's going to remember who Spider-Man is. Nobody's going to remember who you are. Like, Peter Parker is basically going to be a nobody. A regular person in society. Like, MJ, Ed, all of them. Even the Avengers. They all just going to forget you. Even I'm going to forget you. So, Doctor Strange broke it to him. And then, next thing you know, Tom went to the other Spider-Mans. Was like, you guys are like my brothers. We were all cool. Basically hugged it out or whatever, and all the villains had left. All the villains, they all went back to their universe. Everybody disappeared. It's like Thanos had snapped. Everybody had disappeared in their universe. So that was cool, and it was actually sad at the end because he went to the little coffee shop, and MJ didn't know who he was. MJ didn't know who he was. Ed didn't know who he was. Like, they were all like, "Who are you? Peter Parker, nice to meet you." That part was actually kind of sad. Because Tom, he started crying. Because, like, that's sad. Like, they all forgot you. You got to remake Friends. Imagine that, bro. That's crazy. So, basically, all the villains, they all had left. Best movie ever. It's so much. I can't explain every detail because this video will make 30 minutes because it was so good, bro. It's just so hard to explain. It was the best Spider-Man movie. The best superhero movie that ever exists. It was 2 hours long. It was so freaking good. So, basically, they all forgot who he was. And then he put on a new suit. He got like a new Spider-Man suit. It actually looks like the OG, like the comic book version. It actually looks really fire. He had a new Spider-Man suit and started swinging. And then, boom, that happened. The end of the movie. It was more to it, but this video is going to be really long if I keep explaining it. So, yeah, that happened. Another thing, the post-credit scene was Venom. Eddie Brock, he was in the thing, right? He was at a bar. He was like, "I need to see who the Spider-Man guy is. I need to meet him or whatever." So he was talking about it to like a bartender. And next thing you know, Venom being Venom. He was being all funny and whatever. But then he was like, what's it called? Eddie Brock, he started disappearing. Like, he just started disappearing, and then he disappeared. Like, he went back to his universe, to the Sony universe. He had dipped, but he left, like, some Venom behind. Like, some Venom. So he went back to his universe, but he left a little Venom, so that means someone else is going to turn into Venom in the MCU, and that junk is going to be fire. But, yeah, that was the end of the movie. It was more to it, but this video is going to be long. It's already long as it is. But, yeah, the best Spider-Man movie to ever exist. Better than every other movie. We saw all three Spider-Man together. Oh, yeah, another thing, Electro. Electro was like, who are these Spider-Man? Where do you guys come from? So he basically, Electro was like, who are these guys? And he was like, I forgot what it was, but he was like, it's 3 Spider-Man. I just expected a black Spider-Man. That jump was crazy because we all thought of Miles Morales. He was like, I just thought it's 3 white Spider-Man. I thought it was going to be a black. There's a black Spider-Man somewhere if it's 3 Spider-Man. If it's 3 white Spider-Man, there got to be a black Spider-Man somewhere. So everybody went crazy because we referred basically Miles Morales. Like, we all remember. But the movie was freaking good. I expected more. I expected more like a Miles Morales, like Miles, like a black kid down the street, like, "Hey, I'm Miles." That would be freaking crazy. I expected like Venom to come back, but the movie was really good. Basically, it was the villains from all the other Spider-Man movies. It was really good. I thought the old MJ was gonna come back, the old Gwen Stacy. I thought all of them was gonna come back, but the movie was really good. We predicted almost everything though. Like, the movie was really good, but if you didn't watch no spoilers, no reviews, it would be 10 times better because some of the stuff we expected, but it was really good. Better than every other superhero movie to ever exist. But yeah, that's all I want to say. One day I'm going to be in the MCU. But yeah, stay positive, love yourself, take care of yourself. Best movie to ever exist. This video is freaking 18 minutes long. This video was too long, but hey, that's what happened when we talk about Spider-Man. Is you get so excited. But the movie was, if I actually paid attention to every detail, this video would be like 80 minutes long. But nah, the movie was really good. Best movie of all time. Man, catch you guys in the next video. Stay positive, love yourself, take care of yourself. Peace.